Start streaming. We're live. We're live. We're live. We're live. The internet can totally see you now. Move that out of the way. Stream Elf orange. Could do the green now. Not on green Stream Elf for some reason. But is there anybody there? Is there anybody there? Doesn't really matter if anyone comes on and watch live. I'm not really too bothered about questions. Just to let any YouTubers know, I've got a camera here. I've got my phone on. I'm on Instagram as well. I'm doing a little recording for Instagram TV. So if I turn that way occasionally, I could be talking to a phone. What's up, Dubs? Anthony Griffiths, Agent 187. I just wanted to come on and have a little chat about Hyperledger. Planning a video on it. I don't know if it's going to end up as big as the Interledger documentary we've just done and the globalization one. But I think more people need to speak about Hyperledger and what they're actually building that's plugging into Interledger protocol, basically. Hey Scott, hi mate, good morning guys. So yeah, you can see here on the screen, this is what they call the Hyperledger greenhouse, basically. So the Hyperledger greenhouse, inside it you've got the Hyperledger burrow, Hyperledger fabric, Inde, Aroha, Sawtooth, Caliper, Cello, Composer, Explorer, Quilt, Fabric. So you might have heard Quilt knocking around with Interledger protocol. You might have heard Fabric for cross-channel permission support and stuff. I think it is. We'll have a look in a minute. Good evening, Michael, wherever you are. I'm gonna go straight to the Quilt because I'm guessing most of you have heard about the Quilt the most. What I'll do is I'll play. There's a little 2-minute video, so I'm gonna play that at first. Won't full screen it, but you'll hear it. So the Hyperledger Quilt, get the code. It's in. It's a tool. Considering this one a tool, it's in incubation. So Hyperledger Quilt is a business blockchain tool. One of the Hyperledger projects hosted by the Linux Foundation. Hyperledger Quilt offers interoperability between ledger systems. That's the key term these days, isn't it? Interoperability between ledger systems by implementing the Interledger protocol, also known as ILP, which is primarily a payments protocol and is designed to transfer value across distributed ledgers and non-distributed ledgers. The Interledger protocol provides atomic swaps between ledgers, not even non-blockchain distributed ledgers, and a single account namespace for accounts within each ledger. With the addition to Quilt to Hyperledger, the Linux Foundation now hosts both a Java Quilt and JavaScript Interledger implementations. Hyperledger Quilt was initially contributed by NTT Data and Ripple. What? Ripple built the Quilt, baby. Ripple built the Quilt. That's all I need to know. Do you know what I mean? So yes, Scott, live stream, greenhouse effect. Looks good, picture quality with a green screen. Loving the delivery also, well done. Yes, Kurt. Hope you have a good day in work, mate. Can't wait to have you back in the van. And van podcasts on the go. But yeah, guys, it's there. Ripple built the Quilt. Do you know what I mean? Interledger implementations. Hyperledger Quilt was initially contributed by NTD Data and Ripple. So they took part in building the Quilt. They built Interledger as the Ripple protocol to give it away. Yeah. They helped build Hyperledger Quilt, and now Linux has mostly took over that. IBM's doing bits. There's a lot of firms and a lot of people working on this. Should have dropped a 30-minute advance warning, get more peeps in the chat. I probably should, Kurt. I will do next time. It's probably going live again tomorrow. Just with me planning this video about Hyperledger, I legitimately just wanted it out there, and Instagram as well, at Instagram TV, watching. Well, it's not even uploaded yet. Should have gone live on Instagram. But we're learning, so I'm going to play the video and shut up for a minute. Well, it's 2 minutes. But this is just a little explanation of the greenhouse and what it is. Working together.
For developing business blockchain technologies, hosted by the Linux Foundation.
Naughty!
Within the greenhouse. Welcome to the Hyperledger Greenhouse, an open source consortium for developing business blockchain technologies,
it should have been
hosted
involved
by the Linux Foundation. Within the greenhouse, diverse global communities collaboratively develop open source projects that uniquely approach enterprise blockchain challenges. These technologies can cross-pollinate and interoperate, just like how the communities driving the projects collaborate in an open and neutral environment. Hyperledger Quilt is a tool set in the Hyperledger Greenhouse that offers interoperability between ledger systems by implementing the Interledger Protocol, or ILP, which is primarily used to transfer value across distributed and non-distributed ledgers. Today, value transfers are relatively easy if the sender and recipient reside in the same country or own accounts in the same network. However, since ledger systems are often siloed and disconnected, problems arise when transferring value to a different payment network. As an enterprise-grade implementation of the ILP protocol, Quilt can facilitate interoperability between different networks and values by providing libraries and reference implementations of the core Interledger components. With ILP, money can be packetized, routed, and delivered over communication networks with automatic routing and a series of secure multi-hop payments, connecting bank accounts to digital wallets and everything in between. Long-term, Quilt can become a ledger interoperability solution that enables more than just payment transactions, but a means to exchange any sort of asset across the many different blockchain networks that will exist. Get started with Hyperledger Quilt today by downloading the source code, accessing the documentation, and joining our community from our website, hyperledger.org.
So, I mean, it talked about being the core. It spoke about. God, it mentioned a lot then, basically, didn't it? And it generally just whizzed through it. But basically, Hyperledger Quilt allows multiple ledgers, distributed, non-distributed, blockchain, non-blockchain, all these networks that can't talk to each other. Basically, are going to be able to through Hyperledger, and you're not just talking financial networks sending money to someone, money to money, and XRP being the bridge between two currencies. We're not just talking that. We're talking someone giving currency and getting gold, someone giving something and getting something else, trading any asset, wages going in on a per second basis. Chris Larson mentioned it himself, didn't he? In the videos, they all mentioned it. That is the basic layer, the core infrastructure of Hyperledger and how it will link to ILP, Interledger Protocol. But like I say, it's got deeper meaning. It does go deeper than that. So with the fabric, we'll move on now from Hyperledger Quilt to Hyperledger David de Rothschild. I wish my name was Rothschild, mate. But yeah, we'll move on to the fabric. So the type, what the fabric is distributed ledger technology and a smart contract engine. It's actually active. you'll notice a lot of these are either in incubation, they're in the production phase, or they're being tested. This is active. Hyperledger Fabric, a smart contract engine that's active. Hyperledger Fabric is a blockchain framework implementation and one of the Hyperledger projects hosted by the Linux Foundation, intended as a foundation for developing applications or solutions with a modular architecture. Hyperledger Fabric allows components such as consensus and membership services to be plug and play. Hyperledger Fabric leverages container technology to host smart contracts called chain code that comprise the application logic of the system. Hyperledger Fabric was initially contributed by Digital Asset and IBM as a result of the first hackathon. So, like mentioned before, Ripple helped with a quilt, IBM have helped with a fabric. These are big companies that all know where this is leading, that all know it needs to be implemented and cross-network through Interledger protocol, and they made sure the quilt was there for it to happen. They've also made sure the fabric's there for the smart contracts on top of it. Moving on from that, I mean, feel free to come and have a look on the Hyperledger website, but going even deeper, Hyperledger Explorer, thanks to Sloth, or did Suburban, thanks a lot, superb, that, Sharks guy, literally. So, Hyperledger Explorer is utility. So they've got this down here as utility, and again, this one's in incubation, it's not active, it's not live, but time will tell, and we'll soon see and hear more about it. In Hyperledger Explorer is a blockchain module, one of the Hyperledger projects hosted by the Linux Foundation, designed to create user-friendly web application. Hyperledger Explorer can view, invoke, deploy, or query blocks, transactions, and associated data, network information, name status, list of nodes, chain code, transaction families, as well as any other relevant information stored in the ledger. Hyperledger Explorer was initially contributed by IBM, not a surprise, and Intel and DTCC. Check the current status of Hyperledger here. So like I say, if you want to get yourself just Hyperledger on Google, bish bash bosh over to that page. If you want to know more about the Explorer, or build yourself a Linux PC with it on or something, this is that is really interesting, just with invoke, deploy, query blocks, transactions, associated data, or the network information, the names of status, a list of knowns. I mean, come on. I don't see Windows doing that at the moment, do you? Do you know what I mean? So you've got Quilt, you've got Fabric, Explorer, it's growing. It's all from supply chains to people, peer-to-peer. Possibilities are absolutely endless. Hyperledger Grid. What the fuck's the grid? Oh, fucking all this Hyperledger shit. There's loads of it. It's gonna be absolutely massive, and it's all gonna interconnect together and all plug and play into ILP, Interledger Protocol. So the grid's a framework as well. Its status is also in incubation. So supply chain is commonly cited as one of the most promising distributed ledger use cases. From production, supply chains, logistics, everyone waiting for money till they can do the next thing. You got to wait for that money to come in so you can order your next parts and start supplying your clients again. Imagine what instant transactions is going to do for that kind of chain. It's unbelievable from the bottom to the top. Whether you're growing tomatoes or you're making wooden chairs, it is not going to matter. Supply chain is going to see massive use of Hyperledger and Interledger protocol in the future. And we're talking the next 10 years, like Globalization Video said, you've got to give it to 2030. You've got machine spending that's going to come about, the Internet of Things, as you start buying fridges that can pay for their own power and ovens, and it's all just going to get a little bit ridiculous. XRP Ripple just gets bigger and bigger every day. It's hard to keep track. It is, man. It is. And when naming everything different, it's like, it'd be a little bit easier, wouldn't it, if all this Hyperledger information was just available where we found the Interledger information, because it's clearly all the same people in it. There's over 250 companies signed to Interledger. There's over 250 companies and institutions signed to Hyperledger. I mean, I've not had a look at both of them yet, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be 75% of all the same companies. So it's it's crazy. The initiatives focused on building supply chain solutions will benefit from a shared, reusable tools. Hyperledger Grid seeks to assemble these shared capabilities in order to accelerate the development of ledger-based solutions for all types of cross-industry supply chain scenarios. I mean, it gets a little bit technical, doesn't it? But when you know and you break it down, it's going to be absolutely unbelievable. Say tomato again, the most Manchester tomato I've ever heard. Tomato. Did I say tomato? Tomato. It doesn't matter if you're growing tomatoes. Tomato. But yeah, I've lost where I am on the thing. Hyperledger Grid initially intends to provide a reference implementations of supply chain centric data types, the data models, and the smart contract based business logic. 18 minutes on Insta TV, going off shortly, sorry. I might just record you again and put you back on. Just upload 2 videos for Instagram TV. So all this is going to be anchored on existing open standards and industry best practices. Second, it will showcase in authentic and practical ways of how to combine components from the Hyperledger, stack into a single effective business solution. So tapping into all these different networks, all these different supply chains with ease, all peer-to-peer, all instant transactions, smart contracts going through in an instant. The Hyperledger Grid is a framework, it's not a blockchain, and it's not an application. The grid is an ecosystem of technologies, frameworks, and libraries that work together, letting application developments make the choice as to which components are most appropriate for their industry or market model. Level playing field, guys. It's there without saying it. That is the level playing field. The grid, obviously, with ILP, Interledger Protocol, the whole thing is the level playing field. But that right there, letting application developers make the choice as to which components are most appropriate, making your choice on the level playing field. It's a spider's web, it spreads everywhere, but all connected by that Ripple. There won't be a backdoor at Ripple, hasn't gone. Telling you, Anne, it's absolutely incredible. Recently, we have seen, next video, Instagram TV. There'll be another 20-minute one if it lasts that long after this. But welcome back, Crypto Fam. So yeah, I'm recording for Instagram as well. Sorry, guys. With the talk at the minute about IDs, we had a little chat about the chips and that, and you've got that advert where the guy locks his house with his hand. Hyperledger Interoperability. It's a distributed ledger and it's a utility library. Its status is currently in incubation, but this is it. Or just one of them. There's going to be many different places to get your digital identity, but Hyperledger implemented on Interledger Protocol. It's running through the Quilt, which was created by Ripple. Don't need to know anymore, do you? I'm thinking this is a route I'll go for my identity when I turn it digital. But let's carry on. Hyperledger Interoperability is a distributed ledger purpose-built for decentralized identity. It provides tools, libraries, and reusable components for creating and using independent digital identities rooted on the blockchain or other distributed ledgers, so they are interoperable across administrative domains, applications, and any other silo. What did we hear David Schwartz say in the globalization video about with the getting sick of all this siloing of financial services, siloing of money, siloing of data, siloing of passport, siloing of your criminal, silo there the votes, and none of it can even talk to each other, as well as WhatsApp talks to flaming OneDrive. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So this is basically across everything interoperable. It doesn't matter whether you've got your digital identity. See you later, Dor. Go back to work. See you later, Chris. Or where was I? But yeah, it doesn't matter whether, so say European digital identities are going to go to America. You ain't going to have a big passport, big boarding pass and all this bullshit anymore. You're just not going to have it. In 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, when we finally got the chip, you don't want the chip, wear the ring, wear the bracelet, don't care, but you'll have a digital identity somewhere. It might even be in your phone. You all don't seem to be that scared about the chip in your phone, even though that's GPSing you everywhere. Go to Google, type in timeline and see where you've been in the last week, because Google knows. If you forgot, that is, or if you want to know where your bird went. But yeah, can you imagine getting to a plane in 5 years, you get to the airport, and you just walk up to the counter, there's not even a person there, there's probably just some augmented reality dude that's like, yo, what's up, bro? Checking in or what? And you just swipe your arm, and on that one swipe, the airport got your name, got your address, got your details, got your digital identity, it saw your passport, it saw your boarding pass, it knows why you're going on holiday, it knows how long you're going to be there for, it's seeing all the smart contracts that are dictating your trip. Boom! You didn't even need to see a person. You just put your hand there and the door opened for you because the door knew you were supposed to be on the plane. It's absolutely crazy. Fast forward it a little bit more. If there's room on that plane, put your hand there. You don't even, you haven't even got a ticket. You just put your hand there, boom, I want a ticket for this plane. Yeah, there's a seat at the back. It's so many XRP or GBP or US dollars, Japanese yen, whatever. And you're just like, boom, yeah, I'll pay. Boom, I'm on the plane. That kind of thing's just incredible. Like chips, rings on your hands, smart contracting work. You're setting up a business deal. You bish bash bosh it on your phone because the phones are just that good by then. You do it on your watch. You're happy with that deal. You shake hands, and the 2 chips in your hand or your ring seal that contract, and it's done. You don't even need a pen to sign a contract anymore. So because distributed ledgers cannot be altered after the fact, it's essential that the use cases for ledger-based identity carefully consider fundamental components including performance scale, trust model and privacy. In particular, privacy by design. Privacy preventing technologies are critically important to public identity ledger, where correlation can take place on a global scale. For all these reasons, Hyperledger Interoperability has developed specifications, terminology and design patterns for decentralized identity, along with an implementation of these concepts that can be leveraged and consumed both inside and outside the Hyperledger consortium. They're ready because they've been conversing and been in contact with Ripple, and Ripple built them the quilt so they could plug into Interledger protocol. These are ready. Loads of people are ready. We know it's all ready. You want to know where your bird went? Serious, the more like get on Google timeline. You might be amazed if you didn't know it exists. That's the chip you should be scared of, the GPS one. I'll have my chip in. So, put your head on the thing to check in. It's funny to us because we know it's going there, but I struggle with people just blatantly ignoring it. They're the only ones that got up in the new tabs, but clearly there's more. Mobile application focus, IHORA. The Sawtooth is a permissioned and permissionless support. EVM transaction family. What's EVM actually? I don't know what that is now. Which one's that? Sawtooth. So they're all here. Burrow, Caliper, CeeLo, Composer, Sawtooth. Let's open that one. So this is another distributed ledger smart contract engine. We've actually got a different video as well. It's active. Hyperledger Sawtooth is a modular platform for building, deploying and running distributed ledgers. Distributed ledgers provide a digital record such as asset ownership that is maintained without central authority. Do you build your own ledgers? I'm going to play this video, guys. Sorry if you get a bit of echo through the mic. Let's just have a look at what this is.
Welcome to the Hyperledger Greenhouse.
Can you hear?
Open source consortium for developing business blockchain technologies hosted by the Linux Foundation. Within the Greenhouse, diverse global communities collaboratively develop open source projects that uniquely approach enterprise blockchain challenges. These technologies can cross-pollinate and interoperate, just like how the communities driving the projects collaborate in an open and neutral environment. Built from the ground up for enterprise use, the Hyperledger Sawtooth design philosophy targets development of decentralized ledgers and secure, scalable smart contracts. The Sawtooth security model uses a single node type, which simplifies deployment. Plenty of examples exist for both on-prem and cloud installations. On-chain governance lets enterprises manage all aspects of the Sawtooth network with the network itself. Participants set policies and agree on configuration changes using Sawtooth transactions. In fact, even consensus algorithms can be changed real-time in a running network. Start with Raft, then harden with PBFT, or switch to proof of elapsed time as the network grows. Sawtooth software development kits cover a wide variety of languages. The smart contract model supports deploying any and all of these languages alongside each other. Ethereum contracts, for example, can be deployed alongside WebAssembly and Java contracts. Sawtooth distributed ledger technology can integrate with existing internal databases by keeping internal relational and key value databases in sync with the Sawtooth network. Whether you are using Sawtooth for healthcare, supply chain, or financial services, your internal systems can make use of all the data managed on the Sawtooth blockchain. Get started with Hyperledger Sawtooth today by downloading the source code, accessing the documentation, and joining our community from our website, hyperledger.org.
Wow! I mean, that was like going on about being able to move Ethereum smart contracts with JavaScript, make its own distributed ledgers, and it's just everything is just going to be interconnected. And thanks to Ripple, it's like anyone, Ripple and them, want in on it. They just, it's legitimately like they're just saying, "Yo, we got this. Come here, man. Come here. Shh. Got this thing, yeah. Got this ILP, yo. ILP. Interledger protocol. Yeah, you want in on it. You want Linux. You want some Linux, Raoul. Just get that quilt there, yeah. Just wrap yourself up in that quilt, mate. You'll be all good. We'll come and see you next week. W3C, you run the internet, don't you? Whatever you do, anyone else is just going to do. So you just take care of that protocol, mate. Don't call it Ripple Protocol anymore. We're going to call it Interledger Protocol. Interledger. Yeah. So that is legitimately what's been happening the last 10 years. Like, well, since post 2009, since the powers that be started calling for a new world reserve currency. The Triffin's dilemma, it all blowing up in the face. That is legitimately, it was just Ripple, just sat in the corner thinking, man can solve this. David, we've got this box, don't we, Dave? And David Schwartz is like, you know this, Brad? You know this, Chris? You know this? I've been doing this shit since '88, bro. Where's that 1996 white paper I wrote? But yeah, it's that's legitimately what I feel like's happened. But just to point out another thing again, identity, the chips, all that stuff. Anyone questioning that, go and have a look at Hyperledger in there, because this is legitimately the first one I've seen that is connected. It's a digital identity ready to plug and play with Interledger protocol. It's a no-brainer to be positive about Hyperledger. If you're positive, you tried the new XRP pills. I'm not. I do have a bag of them. But if you're positive about Interledger protocol, there is absolutely no reason at all to not be positive about Hyperledger, because it plugs straight into it. And if you've seen all the graphics online where everything starts opening up, and Interledger protocol is basically the bridge between different values and different networks. Well, Hyperledger's kind of done that themselves as well, haven't they? They've started making more applications that most of them companies seem to have also jumped on. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Now, without going deeper and ruining the potential video that I'm actually doing, because I'm still planning on doing a proper deeper dive into all this. You can clearly see there's not that much information right in front of your face, but there's all these find out more at the bottom, so I'm going to spend a week or two finding out more. Hopefully we can find some interviews and find the powers that be speaking about it, if we find the documents, that's not too bad because we can just speak about the documents. But when they say it, so much more gravitas in it. It's like, ugh, deny that, mate. It's Christine Lagarde, man. Deny that. It's the fucking World Bank, mate. Deny that. What Everest document? Who's Everest? And who made that document? Mate. They're foreign, aren't they? Get it up. They're not English speaking. So if we go Everest adoption timeline, I don't know if anyone's looked for this in the past. But if you're searching for the Everest document and you can't find it, it's because it's Présentation des PowerPoints. That's French, D, innit? Is it German? C-I-O-N. Is that French or German? Help me. But that's the one there. It's at the top. Cofino Eventos. And click on that bad boy. This is it, innit? This is the one. So just a little brief overview. We've done this in other videos, but that bad boy there is the timeline. So you know it's in the 50s. We got the first mainframe computers. 74, 75, load of bullshit. Apple, blah blah blah. That's basically the internet of information. So we had an internet of information growth all the way from the start of computers up to shit like Facebook. Look at how slow it was at the start. I mean, they were sending emails in like the 60s, weren't there? 60s and 70s. NASA and that sending emails, and we didn't get them until, well, no, us in Britain didn't really get them until 1995 with Microsoft. Microsoft come out. So that's the internet of information, the internet of data. It's changed the world. It's brought globalization to the sharing of data to the point. I'm sat on my own channel. You can make your own channel. Some of you have. It's crazy. Imagine trying to do this in the 90s. How much the camera would cost you. How much the studio equipment would cost you. You'd have to get a deal after you've shot it and someone to actually put it on their channel. Now we just go bish bash bosh, get a camera, get your phone, we're on this, we're on that, and bam, we're live. Live. Don't say fuck a bagger. But yeah, it's like, that is the internet of information, the internet of data. That's where it's brought us. Like, just try and picture what this is going to do for us. The internet of value. 2009 to 2025, 2030. Don't overlook that. People can say, oh, it's going to moon by 2020, 2025. All they want. At the end of the day, it ain't there until it's seen full adoption. And we're talking machine-to-machine payments. We're talking ridiculous smart houses on a level that people just don't know. People are using smart bulbs that turn themselves on and off, but like can't get it into their head that in a couple more years that bulb's going to be paying for its own electricity as it uses it. It's not that hard to believe once you realise that the bulb's already fucking smart and can turn itself on and off, and Alexa's like, light, turn yourself off, and the light does exactly what it's told. Blockchains and distributed ledgers solutions mature. All asset and exchange networks become interoperable with Interledger protocol. Blockchain solutions for markets, trade finance emerge. R3 Corda, DAR, Fabric. We've just spoke of the Fabric and the Quilt and shit, etc. Interledger Proto Java becomes an interoperability standard for Hyperledger Foundation projects. So the Hyperledger, what I've been speaking about, it's following the interoperability standard. They're all in bed with each other. They're all in the same bed. So how they're making it work is basically what this document's talking about. We're going to start from technology breakthrough, like we saw Ryan Zagon talk about in the globalization video. You heard him talk where he's showing the car into the trucks. We know the container from sacks and shit up into the shipping container. So we've had the technology breakthrough, which has turned into Interledger protocol with XRP as the bridge asset. It's a done deal, mate. Maturity and adoption then, it's enterprise level platforms for specific use cases. Their Hyperledger Fabric, so it's going to be massive for it, the Hyperledger Fabric. Like I say, you can talk about all these financial institutions all you want, but when some of us pull away from said financial institutions and do more peer-to-peer, we're going through Hyperledger, especially on apps like BAB. Tron and TRX is plugged into Hyperledger. There's many projects ready for Hyperledger, ready for Interledger Protocol, and yes, the big fella, sex robots. The more you touch it with your chip in your hand, the more you pay, mate. The big fella does know the script. You fucking 60 seconds rubbing before the fucking Bitcoin dust runs out. But digital asset, Corda, R3 Corda, so the Interledger Protocol, comparing it to information, you've got information on the left, we've got value on the right, so they want value moving through Hyperledger and ILP as fast as data does, like we say, from WhatsApp to Instagram or from OneDrive to Google Drive. It's seamless, and we need a seamless internet of value. It's being built. Hyperledger Foundation members, see this document is about Interledger. It's about Interledger. Say hello to Instagram, YouTube. Interledger, and it's got Hyperledger on it. That should tell you everything you need to know about any project that that's plugged into Hyperledger, signed up to Hyperledger, or member of Hyperledger. NTT Data, IBM, R3, Digital Asset, Accenture, Cisco, DT, Intel, SAP, Fujitsu, Red Hat, Huawei, CMM Group, JP Morgan, American Express. You could go on forever there, couldn't we? And we know there's over 200 of them, as there's over 200 for Interledger Protocol, as there's over 200 Ripple partners. The Linux Foundation leads the biggest consortium of technology companies and financial institutions collaborating to establish DLT and blockchain technology standards. So if you're going to sit there and take the Everest document as a good document, see you later Instagram TV, get yourself over to YouTube and watch the video after it's played, if you wasn't watching anyway. Laters, peace out, live long and order. Just doing 2 Instagram TV videos. I don't really want to click on the second one. I'll wrap it up in a minute. But yeah, clear the head. What was I on? If you've took this Everest document and you're like, oh yeah, Interledger Protocol and Ripple and that's that, you cannot then push Hyperledger to the side. No one can. It's there. I want you to listen to this again, knowing. Does Google Play own a part of Ripple? I'm not sure, mate, but it wouldn't put past me if they've was kind of a private investor. They've not done an IPO, so no one publicly owns part of Ripple. They all privately own little bits, don't they? That SBI got 10% or something. JP Morgan, Dow Jones and all them probably no doubt got some. Bank of England. They've all put a bit in, but that's private investment, mate, not an IPO. Initial public offering, like initial coin offerings, ICO coins. Well, companies do an IPO where they do an initial public offering and they offer shares out to the public. Ripple's not a public company. It's not done an IPO yet. Not to say they won't in the future, but any investor in Ripple was a private investor, or what you might call an angel investor for a startup. But getting onto Ripple, always Ripple partner with them, did them. If you buzzing off Ripple's partners, and buzzing off the members on Interledger Protocol, this paragraph here should give you an emotional stiffer about Hyperledger. That one there. The Linux Foundation leads the biggest consortium of technology companies and financial institutions collaborating to establish DLT and blockchain technology standards. They lead the biggest consortium. Doesn't say Ripple lead the biggest consortium. It doesn't say Interledger Protocol is in the center of the biggest consortium. It says the Linux Foundation leads the biggest consortium, which we now know is in charge of Hyperledger and partnered with all these bad boys. Look at that there, Swift, baby. Swift. Swift right there, mate. Swift. So with this objective, they're working on the development of the Interledger Java software, which will facilitate transaction interoperability across bank settlement networks and platforms. What did that other video say a minute ago? It can carry Ethereum contracts with JavaScript. So many deals we don't know about on top of the ones we do. Exactly. And it's all in the same document. You just need to like... It's just like settling down in it and thinking, right, let me just read this proper. Let me just have a look. I nearly missed Swift there then. I noticed I legitimately nearly missed Swift. I was on that. How can you miss Swift? Do you know what I mean? You've got to read the documents proper, man. It's crazy. The payment, settlement, present and future. Paying, everything starts with a payment, especially in the future. None of this take all your data for free, like Tesco does at the moment. The minute you got a club card, they know more about you than the police do. Unless you've been a naughty boy or girl, like some of us may have. But yeah, unless you've got a nice big criminal record, and you got a club card, no criminal record, Tesco know more about you than the police. Think about that. Cross-border real-time gross settlement from 1980 to 2017 is basically this. And they had all their own RTGS systems coming up, but it was still correspondent banking, wasn't it? And we all know correspondent banking takes days. In globalization, Ryan Zagon mentions it a little bit before David Schwartz comes in. You can also find that full video on Bank XRP's YouTube. It's boring to some people, but if you want to know like a deep dive into how Ripple have made Swift's messaging system two-way thanks to Xcurrent, sped it up already. Yeah, it's improved it already just with Xcurrent. And you've got the people who are like, oh yeah, well they do Xcurrent, mate, so why would you even use XRP? It's like, well, liquidity, mate. Liquidity. You're mad head. We had a crisis because of it. And we're going to have another if the safety net's not there. I said on Instagram, the XRP, Interledger Protocol, Hyperledger, some believe it's actually enough of a safety net to possibly stop the next crisis. Possibly stop it. That's still there to be seen. But if it doesn't stop it, you can bet your ass it's going to save some people from it. But who's it going to save from it? Who's it going to act as a safety net for? Because if you look at the charts at the moment, it ain't going in XRP, are they? It looks like most of them are buying gold. So when do they go into XRP from the rest of it? Does gold take a plummet towards the end of next year and they all fly from gold to XRP? And then once everything else is on its ass, they bring it out of XRP back into what they wanted to own in the first place. And then because XRP and Interledger protocols now got a load of volume pushing through it, the price maintains. And then you've got all the Internet of Things, boom, or machine-to-machine, fridges, ovens, microwaves, water meters, water heaters, all doing their own microtransactions. You've got 2 billion people from Middle East and Africa region who've been unable to be banked, all of a sudden banked. Shun your face at a 50-cent payment all you want, but when 2 billion people start receiving 50 cents a day, I don't care what anyone says, that's more volume. It's volume on volume on volume. So what's going to happen? We don't know. All we know is we hold the key. We hold the key. Basically, XRP, you hold the key to globalization, the bridge asset. The video showed it as well. You found, oh, I can send money to you now straight away. So everyone says, I can already send money straight away. Try sending it to Asia, mate. Try sending it to the States. It's beyond belief. It's like people in the UK buy something off Amazon and then don't realise it takes 3 to 5 days for Amazon to take the money. People don't see it. It's like they've got too much money in so I got too much money in the bank. You don't mention how long, you don't notice how long it takes for stuff to come out. You're fucking cracking me up. Cheers, Ali. Good morning from Iowa, USA. I've just at afternoon, just at 12, just gone past 12. But my mum was watching this live stream. The more nice. Sorry if I dropped a bit of language in every now and then. The more's mum. You might not mind language. You might. Apologies. We just can't help it sometimes. It just comes out. Should be working, but I'm on my lunch break. Nice. Trillions of transactions each day. It's crazy. It's what you're talking. It's what you're talking. Let me get this up. With the James. Oh, Demo. What was he called? James. James. Ah, James. 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 Oh shit! The bed. It'll be on my phone. I'm getting this up. Because it had a quality picture. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. I'm loving it. It wasn't James, you idiot. James. Jeremy. Jeremy Light, guys. Jeremy Light. Ripple PDF. I'm gonna search that bad boy. Boom! I ain't nothing but chocolate biscuits. Nothing but chocolate biscuits. Chocolate biscuits. I got that chocolate biscuits. Biscuits. Yeah, that one. That one. Digital assets in payments, building the internet of value. Oh! This is what we're talking about. This is what it's all about. The vision of the internet of value to enable the world to move money like information moves today. That is legitimately the vision, the solution. The mission is to reduce the friction between global payments. Interledger also sounds good for governments as well, so that taxes, money laundering, and SEC can easily be tracked. Like it or not, these are signs of the times, but why not? Why not? If everyone's KYC, bring it on. Why not? What are you scared of? What are you scared of, mate? Scared of me? I've been doing some dodgy shit. What are you scared of? What are you scared of? Only criminals are scared of giving the face away. What's at stake? Criminals get nicked because everyone knows what they're up to. And let me try and mute. APAC. Asian Pacific region, that. North America, Middle East and Africa, Asia Pacific. So that's the back end, innit? China and Japan. Jesus Christ. Sorry if you're religious and that's a swear word for you. I know that can actually be worse than shit sometimes, so yeah. 2017 total is 27 trillion locked up to 27 trillion. Some say it's 10, some say 15, 17, 27. So up to 27, it's actually giving it. You got 1.7 in Latin America, 1.8 Middle East and Africa, 5.3 in North America, 8.9 trillion in Europe, and 9.6 in Asia Pacific region. So by 2026, without a solution, that's going to add 20 trillion. It will be 47 trillion locked up. The world can't head to that. It just can't. It's nearly doubling some of these numbers. You go from what in Latin America goes from 1.7 to 2.8. Middle East 1.8 to 3.3, 5.3 to 8, 8.9 to 14, 9.6 to 18. It cannot carry on like that, guys. You've seen the debt clock for America, UK. Everyone's is just flying up. It cannot carry on like that. The current state of the blockchain. What's the current state of blockchains? You've just got to load more new networks that can't interact, can't interoperate. Is this sort of on the globalization as well, what Ryan Zagon was going through a bit. So you've got the car to the maturity use cases. Current state of blockchain, we've had a distributed ledger breakthrough where we can actually interoperate all these different networks and we can trade the value of anything. Anything. Not just currency. Not just send XRP to him and it takes 4 seconds. You're actually trading any value. What trade? Gold, precious metals, platinum, silver, oil, cotton, fish, tomatoes, tomatoes. Well, if you was growing tomatoes, you wouldn't have that problem. Tomatoes, man. But yeah, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what supply chain you're in, what you're doing. Are you doing supply and production? Are you doing logistics? Are you the salesman? Are you the rep? Everyone, plug and play into Interledger protocol, all getting paid, all transacting, smart contracts getting written just by shaking hands. It is unbelievable. The use cases generate more payments on top of payments. So have a serious sit down with yourself and just ask how much you think XRP is going to be worth by the time it's freed up that 27 trillion. So Nostra Vostra, your money in my account, my money in your account. Yeah, that's what it means. It's an Italian phrase. Look it up for which one means which. But Nostra Vostra, my money there, your money here. That once Interledger protocol is fully implemented, fully adopted, it's got the volume going through it, it can push it at scale. There's no point for him to hold my money anymore. Send it back, bruh. FedEx it, yo. It's faster. None of that 5-day shit anymore. FedEx, baby. It's unlocking it in it basically. There's no need for the pre-funded Nostro account. Once Interledger protocol is fully adopted, all the liquidity pools are there. So they're not just going to be liquidity pools of XRP either. There'll be liquidity pools of XRP, of Bitcoin, of commodities, of gold, like we say, cotton, fucking all sorts, all liquidity pool, all linked through Interledger protocol, Hyperledger Quilt and Fabric, smart contracts through Hyperledger Sawtooth, everyone's identity tracked for Hyperledger Index. This is why I want to do a deeper video. So imagine how much it's going to be when it sorts out 27 trillion out, and that 27 trillion is back in everyone's account who owns it. Liquidity. What's going to happen for that? Honestly, seriously, what's it going to do to that? The use cases of payments it will generate, not just in trade finance, not just securities once they build their own blockchains and ledgers and they're trading all the securities and commodities through it. And we actually, when that, imagine 5 to 10 years time, at the moment you say, yo, what's the derivatives worth globally? Anyone know? And they're like, oh, that's between 500 trillion, sorry, and 1.2 quadrillion. So yes, and give or take 500 trillion. What, so it's either 5 or double? It's either that or double. You know what I mean? You can't be doing that. 5 to 10 years, all the securities, the derivatives, everything is going to be on distributed ledger. It's all going to be tracked, traced, unhackable, immutable, and they're going to know that in 10 years time. You say, what's your derivatives worth globally? They'll just give you a number and that's what it will be, because they'll be getting told off the chain. At the moment it's like, oh, it's between 500 trillion and 1.2 quadrillion. And you wonder why there's a problem. You wonder why there's a liquidity problem. Lending, no one's really delved into that yet, but I'm sure if we'd have kept digging into Hyperledger, there'll be a lending platform on it. Smart contracts, again, I legitimately can't wait till I sign a contract shaking hands in a couple of years when I've got my near field connection chip. I want to sign a contract shaking someone's hand. And then the big daddy, the Internet of Things, your fridge paying for power as it gets it, your oven paying for power as it uses it, but then your fridge not only be paying for power as it uses it, you're like, yo, fridge, I always want 4 pints of milk in you, mate. Don't let it get lower than 4 pints, man. Like, monitor how fast I drink it, and then when I'm down to 8 pints, order me some more, and get Amazon drone to drop it in the back garden or something. We got the new lockbox last week, so the drone can just hover above the box. The box notices the drone, it opens and it drops the milk in. and goes away, and then when I get home, the milk will be there. Cheers, fridge. Cheers, mate. In fact, get me some Mars bars as well while you're at it. We'll need some sugar later. Do you know what I mean? And that's just your fridge. What about sensors and that? Imagine sensors in bathrooms. A toothbrush with a sensor that would maybe sense a little bit of gum disease or a little bit of infection, and then your mirror's like boop boop. Your tooth just sense a bit of infection there in the back of your throat. It looks like you might want to get some antibiotics, or you might want to get this or that. And then your fucking smart doctor appears. Oh, you can have this, that, boom, 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 and bish, bash, bosh. Before you know it, your house is paid for the medicine, and it's on its way by drone. Parking meters. People want to talk about volume. Do you want to talk about volume? Parking meters, mate. Wait till all them are just taking XRP and crypto. How's that for volume? I was going to go on count all the parking meters globally. Do you know what I mean? McDonald's, Burger King, all the transactions, all what running through Interledger protocol. So all the McDonald's in Britain, they don't send pounds back to America, do they? Ew. Changes currency. McDonald's will use ILP. Amazon will use ILP. Apple will use ILP. Burger King use ILP. Walmart going to use ILP. Asda, Tesco. You got Tesco in America? Tesco gone America? Mate, you can carry on all day, but seriously, someone go and count the parking meters, because I think that's that's a lot of volume, mate. A lot of volume. Bish, bash, bosh. Matthew, seriously, mate, no one knows how big it's going to be. I feel like I know, and then I start talking about stuff. I don't know. I don't know. We have an idea, don't we? We've got a good idea. Like I'm saying, everything's going digital. Check the Instagram TV. I did a video this morning, or went live on Instagram, because the banks in the local area are closing down. Payment networks are disconnected. Banks, they're disappearing, they're closing down. We've got 3 banks shut down in our local area. We've now got like 3 or 4 ATMs for 16 to 20,000 people. It's absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'll only eat eggs and rice this month to save for XRP. Do you know what? It's good and it's funny, and it's like, wow, tomato. Tomatoes, mate, in the chat. But it's funny, innit, how we was talking the other day about having the chips and that. And everyone was saying, oh, they'll just shut this off and they'll shut that off. And it's hard to imagine it happen, but can you imagine in the future someone's had the chip, cash is gone. I'm talking 15, 20 years here, maybe even 25, 30 years. But some guy's sat in his house, man. And every house by then, smart house, he's got his chip in his hand, and he's been out of work. He's been out of work. Struggling, the poor guy. And he's putting content out, he's putting videos out and that, but no one's upvoting him, man. So he's just not getting the microtransactions off Twitter, he's not getting them off Facebook, he's not getting it off YouTube, there's no ad money coming in, he's sat at home and his fucking telly won't even turn on. It's like, telly, turn on, man, please. And the telly's like, brah, there's no money in the wallet, mate. And the last thing you should be worried about, the freezer's just turned off. It's got no more money to pay for your electric, so your food's actually melting. Like, what? What? Boom, light's gone. Shit. So now he's in the dark, no eating, no fridge on, nothing. Got no cash to go to the shop and buy on a Lecky card like he used to. What's he gonna do, man? What's he gonna do? That is something to think about when upvoting comes out. You see poor people in need and they're looking for a way out and they're putting themselves online. It's not easy to put yourself online. It's not easy sitting behind a camera like this and just putting yourself out there, especially when you try to do it for money. I mean, we didn't even do this for money. Initially, we had a vision, we had a dream to obviously make this a job and create something from it. We got help from the community a little bit to build the studio, which we will be forever grateful for, you don't understand. And we are now earning a little bit of ad money off YouTube, because why not? Someone's got to pay for Adobe. Someone's got to pay. Keep updating the equipment. Yeah, so yeah, it's working for us. Get out there and do it, because I'm telling you now, by 2025 to 2030, 60 to 70% of people, in my opinion, will be earning money online. They won't have normal jobs. And if you can't earn money online past 2035, I don't know how you'll be earning money. I think there's going to be enough robots to do most shitty jobs by then. So it's something to think about. Is XRP a scam? Is it? Blasphemy! Heresy! Why would you promote anything except blockchain? Don't really, mate. But yeah, banks, blockchain, mobile money, online wallets, your digital identities, your voting systems, your medical records, it's all disconnected at the moment. It's all going to stay disconnected. It's Interledger Protocol and Hyperledger Fabric that is making this possible. We'll be going over these documents again when I go into a deeper dive of it, this one and the Everest one, with it mentioning Hyperledger so much. So yeah, please stay tuned for this video. I say it could be a week or two away. I might just gather a load of information and go live about it again one night, but I'd kind of like, I'm hoping I get enough to make it a little bit cinematic for you, just give you a nice little watch. We will get a little bit better at the cinematic stuff the more we do. We caught a video on XRP right now, website, killed it. Cheers, Jared. Will you take the chip? I will happily, right now, have someone walk in there and put a near field connection chip in my hand, mate. No danger. No danger. I will not have a GPS chip in my hand until everyone does, because that's just principle. Not that I haven't got, I've got near field connection in the back there, it's how we pay. Yeah, but you know yourself, that near field connection can't pay from a metre away. It's got a limit. GPS, mate, is pinged straight up there to the satellite and they know where you are. Am I signed in on here? Watch this, because I usually stay signed in on my phone, mate. So this will be it. Oh, not Google timeline. So basically, the GPS in this little bad boy. Explore your timeline. What's location history? Start exploring. What? Canary Wharf Shopping Centre. The airport. We're better on a fucking phone, you piece of shit. That timeline shows you exactly where you've been, guys. It is a little dodger, to say the least. Well, it's well better on the phone though. So I don't think it's gonna load up, but it's got everywhere I went today. Everywhere I went today and where I am right now, and it's actually, well, it's got the number, it's got the address on the street I'm on wrong, but yeah, be careful of that Google timeline. Look at that, like, legitimately quickly, because I'm going in a minute. Look at that page, right? And look at the time at the top. The dates are there, 2020 to 2025. Global RTGS will remove friction, costs and risks from cross-currency interactions. So by 2025, globally, looking at just being global RTGS, distributed ledger technology, and in particular the XRP ledger, will enable banks to settle cross-currency transaction in real time, something impossible today. So that's that's to fix the current system. So you'll notice above, correspondent banks, correspondent banking, dog turd. That's got it ending in 2017. We come down and then we realise it's going to real-time settlement on DLT. Correspondent banking and LP, Ledger Protocol. That was the multi-op, the bilateral messaging, the two-way messaging that Ripple provided to speed up the system. Once they add the Interledger in the middle as a bridge asset, it then even speeds it up even more and offers more savings. You use Ripple Tech with XRP, you get more savings. And then this is the big one. This is the one that you might have noticed. We tried beating you over the head with it in a globalization documentary, because that is the internet of value. Those companies on the right hand side of this are just the tip of the iceberg. From, you know yourself, just look at Interledger Fabric and R3 Corda. You now know Interledger Fabric and R3 Corda are just the tip of two monstrous icebergs. Intel, IBM, SAP, all these members and partners that we're hearing about. We've got Apple Pay, Android Pay, PayPal, Square, Alipay. You're going to have Amazon Web Services, Rakuten on the TV, Alibaba Group, eBay, Airbnb, Facebook, Microsoft, Google, Netflix, Uber, WhatsApp, Insta, Snapchat, you name it, upvoting for fun. Platforms like Steam It that are coming up, that are growing. The possibilities are endless. Where this is heading is just unbelievable. It's too much to think about in one sitting at times. So what I'm going to do is, now I've done this video, I'm going to go away with it and have a proper little dive into Hyperledger, the quilt, the fabric, just learn what it's all about, hopefully find some golden nuggets of information. And yeah, I'll bring you a decent little video about it all, about the adoption of DLT. Global payment settlements in real time, man. That's September 7th, 2017. It's a bit earlier than when I first got in, but yeah. Cheers, guys. This has been emotional. It's been a pleasure. I've enjoyed it. Blah 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 blah. Let me just have a little read through before I see make sure I didn't miss out. Do you use a yellow tag for parking? No, we paying a little meters, put pound in or something for an hour or so. Ripple did not have an ICO, they had big backers with deep pockets. It's still a private company, it's not a public company, it's no shareholders. Nice Devon, we went over that. Yeah, the only tag he has around his ankle. Not for the few years, Gumtree buys. Not the tag for the few years, me mate. To the moon. Ripple is already in the works for target 2 backs chats, you know whatever. They've been ahead of the game for years, haven't they? It's actually crazy. XRP price in the next 2 to 3 months. Don't know, mate. Grav. I can't even say that name, mate. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Garav. Next 2 to 3 months. So you're basically asking end of May, mid-May, end of May, June. I'll be surprised if we're not seeing a bull run by then, mate, and it's climbing back towards its all-time high. I'm not saying it's going to be like climbing towards it as in it's going to be $3.20 by then and climbing to $3.80. I mean, we could see it at like 50, 60, 70, 80 over the next month. Maybe it breaches over $1, then I think we can safely say it's back on its way to its all-time high once it's over $1 again. So I don't really know. You're asking the wrong guy, mate. I stopped looking at price months ago. I'm just looking at technology now and the partners, and I'm being patient and waiting, which is what I think we should all do. We might write prices in titles now and then, and we truly do believe it could be up to $5,000 by 2030 with the Everest adoption timeline, taking it into account, machine spending, all your flaming parking meters and that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, just stay tuned, really. On that one, what do you think? 2 to 3 months price. I'd be surprised if it's not over. Yeah, if it's not approaching $1 again by then, mate, I will probably be surprised. But I'm not going to argue if it's still at 30 cents by August, because if I get back in work, I can fill my bags a little bit more while they have. Have fun, you guys are delusional. Watching the second version of The Big Short, mate. Get a grip. Oh no, no wonder you're unknown. Dropping comments like that. Muppet. Economic machine, Damo. Yeah. Unknown. Do you not see the document, you pleb? Yes, pleb. Love that. Love that. Oh yeah. Love it. Drive to the moon. Oh, we got a lot of comments then. Fucking hell, I'm well behind, aren't I? March, April's $10. That is not a bad one, April. $10, mate. It's not a bad thing today. It's right in your face. You need Trump to wear an XRP shirt before you invest. Love that. Do you need Trump to wear an XRP t-shirt? We're not delusional than any other coin holder. They all reckon that the coin name think they Max is the best. Green tint on the air, yeah, it's because of the lights and that, mate. I don't mind it. Be alright. It'll be alright. The green screen's behind me. Or maybe these. I've only green screened a few times, to be honest. I want to get the lighting set up proper, and I'm sure I can maybe do it a little bit better, but is what it is. It's Kurt that's put that. Yes, Kurt. Don't really care, mate. Man's still looking hot. Man's not hot. But yeah. Dem and Steve XRP used to be called open kind of thing. Well, Ripple themselves was called open coin as well, as far as I'm aware. They changed the name in 2012 or 2013, I think. Just in time to, answer the call to action for all these regulators, Bank of England, IMF, Federal Reserve, all asking for a call to action, and no one, they couldn't have gone to them with coin in the name. They would have, no, it would not have gone down well. They had to remove coin. You couldn't have open coin. No one wanted coin. No institution or establishment wants a coin. They want an asset. They want a multifunctional digital asset. That would be the best way they explain. They define XRP. It would be a multifunctional digital asset. It's not a digital currency. It can be a digital currency, but it's not only that. It can be a digital bridge asset, but it's not only that. It can be fucking fuel for a smart contract, but it's not only that. Add value to a smart contract, but it's not only that. Yeah, it's a multifunctional digital asset. That is legitimately what it is at its heart, at its core. Only issue I see, yeah, like I say, it's probably the lights because I'm trapped in the corner. No one put Scotty in the corner, but I've put myself in the corner. I've got what part? I think man's got lights. Man's got lights. If I turn more light on like that, your green tint might go, but I'm going to be white as hell. White! White! I will be bright. You're probably approaching me needing makeup now. Does that, because you turn too many studio lights on, you need makeup. But, that looks a little bit better, I think. So I've got two wide lights. I've turned the facing light off, and I've got the wide ones on. One to my left, one to my right. Seems a bit better. You thinking we'll see movement in the price anytime soon? Do you know what, mate? I think we'll see movement when they're ready to let it move. That's all I can say. Said on Insta in a comment the other day, I said, imagine all these financial institutions that are going to become liquidity providers. They're going to have liquidity accounts and liquidity pools of XRP and all this to be able to facilitate the exchange of value cross borders in real time. So January, you had a few institutions that wanted to come in. $3.80. No chance, mate. No chance. It's always been manipulated down clearly so they can sell it, even though they do most of it OTC. We see a lot of it moving. We know a lot of it's coming out of the escrow. What's it on now? 41 billion. And not too long ago, like the circulating was 39, wasn't it? So it's approaching, I think it's even over 41 billion now, so we'll have to have a look. But I think once they're ready for it to go, it's gonna go, innit? And like I was saying to Kurt the other night, I can see 2 big spurts, mate, minimum. I can see the one where all the institutions have gone in. They see they've got enough liquidity pools. They believe they can fix the current system, release all that Nostro back to whoever owns it. So all them Nostra Vostra accounts get emptied, and all we've got then is loads of liquidity pools all over the globe that are subsidising all these transactions, cross-border, micropayments, the lot, real-time settlements. On top of that, then that is bound to give a big jump in volume in it, like we all know. It's gone to flick of the switch, as some say. The second one after that comes for me, maybe a few years later, or 10 years later, when all smart houses are fully implemented and we've got all them fridges making transactions as well, and the ovens and your TV, and everything's paying for the energy as it uses it, and it's ordering food for you and all that stuff. That then it's got to be another jump in volume, hasn't it? All the parking meters get changed to accept your chips and contactless fucking thing, and you got to... What I mean, basically, you get a foreign exchange at the moment to go on holiday, don't you? But imagine in 10 years' time, and someone comes over and they won't even need to get a foreign currency, they'll just contactless it. And your cards like Revolut and the Bab app, they'll just exchange it for you into the local currency and pay it. So right at that parking meter, you'll just go, bam. And that could be a German who only had euros in his account, and it's just sucked euros out of his account, flipped into XRP, flipped back into GBP, and the meter got paid. Imagine that happen millions of times per minute across the globe. So I think we'll see movement when they let it move initially. And on top of that, once the Internet of Things, Ripple say the Internet of Value and the Internet of Things are basically the same thing. So that's something to look out for. Once that happens, it's like... cheers, Carl. See, this is quite a long-winded goodbye, innit, mate? But I realised I'd missed a load of comments, so I'm just doing what I can to get through them. And stop writing a load of comments. Don't stop writing questions, you bastards. But yeah, cheers, Carl. I'll hopefully make it a decent video, mate. How high the price XRP realistically go? I've said 10 grand, mate, per XRP. And that's before it even becomes an interplanetary asset. Oh yeah, you heard that right. Interplanetary currency, baby. The bridge between Earth and Mars. What do you think? How do you think the colonies on Mars in 2055 are going to be sending value back to Earth? They're not going to be shipping pounds, shipping dollars. They'll be pinging XRP from satellites back to Earth. So, on that note, the top price, mate, who hell knows how high it can go realistically? What's realistic when Elon Musk wants to colonise Mars, mate? Interplanetary currency actually becomes realistic once the first humans on Mars. Wirex is £1 a month, yeah, I noticed that, bastards. Really impressed with Revolut, yeah, I am as well. You can't get robbed, can you, basically? You can't rob your XRP. That's why a lot of people like it. If you just throw... We've still got little bits. We've got it dotted all over the gaff. You're never getting all ours. I don't give a fuck who you are. We've got it on ledgers, Pals, Toast wallets, Wirex, Revolut. It's all over the gaff. You'll do well getting all ours, I tell you. Alright, cool. I've got the app but never deposited any funds. Go for it, Ian. It's alright, Wirex. You get paid into it. Or if you get paid into Revolut, and then just move a little bit each week or month over to Wirex, buy some XRP, and just leave your little nugget a month to pay for the service, mate. And then when you're spending in shops, Revolut offers cash back as well, so you'd have to have a look at which one's offering you the most cash back. But if Wirex is going to give you the most cash back, it gives you satoshis on every spend. So you move your money over to Wirex and you spend it on contactless in Tesco, Walmart, or wherever you want to go, Big Belly Burger, and it's done, dusted. You've spent and you got satoshis back on your Wirex, so it's pretty good, mate. People work to, oh yeah, we need XRP to replace all the fiat out by banks. These trillions can be sent back to their respective countries. Oh, Devon Steve, on it, mate, on it. Mentioned that before. They're printing more fiat, so basically Ripple have invented a new currency. Yeah, Devon, stuff like the Bab app. They're going to do another second sale of the token. It's going to pay for transaction fees, and then like they'll use XRP as a bridge, I'm guessing, because it's on Hyperledger. So the BAX is paying the gas, so to speak, for all these transactions, and any fees gets paid in BAX, and the bridge will be XRP. That's extremely interesting for me. But what's even more interesting, they've sold BAX in an ICO, but they're selling more when the app comes out. Any GBP or fiat they take in for selling BAX, they're holding it in fiat vaults. They're creating fiat pools and fiat vaults. Now that will be to lock up fiat currency, GBP and all that, and they will then help the Bank of England create CBDCs and issue CBDCs, knowing that all the fiat's coming in through their apps and the regulated systems. They will not just empty the Nostro accounts, they will pull all the cash in, and they will eventually all be CBDCs. The pound ain't going anywhere. It's just your pound note it's going. So is your pound coin, and you will get a GBP CBDC. Same for the dollar, the Japanese yen, the lot. The SDR drawing rights basket will be full of CBDCs with XRP in there as the bridge between them. You just know it's happening. Anyone can argue exactly how it's going to happen and exactly what's this and what's that, but the fact of the matter is, Interledger protocol is a chosen protocol. XRP is a chosen bridge asset, and Hyperledger is just entwining it all together absolutely epically. So any haters, it's just go away, mate, because you're wasting our time and we ain't got time for you. Alright, cool, but printing them more fiat, sale cards £50 a month, that's Scott. For that of assets, so much wealth between them, form of assets, 10% could buy all, let's go with XRP. They couldn't buy all non-escrowed XRP, not yet, because I ain't ready to sell mine, mate. If you're ready to hodl, live long and hodl. They can't buy it all if there's hodlers, remember that. Whether I'm using it as pocket money and the price rises, but so YRX you can move it XRP, what's the prices compared to exchange? I've used like just 0.25 XRP like most places, mate. It takes a quarter of an XRP off you for moving it, just like Binance and that. Greens from Norway, mate. Any thoughts on why Jed stopped selling XRP? XRP World, last question I'm going to answer, mate, and then I'm going to get off, but I don't know, mate. Jed McCaleb, I guess you're talking about. I mean, he was there, wasn't he, with him? He came up with some of the protocols, but then like they weren't agreeing on certain things. I think he still wanted to mine it at first. Don't know whether he's stuck by that plan. I mean, you all know he moved off in XLM, didn't he? Meaning Jed McCaleb. I don't really know, mate, but there is Google Bitcoins and Gravy, David Schwartz. It's on. We used a little bit in the globalization documentary. It's an hour chat. He talks about Jed in that. David Schwartz talks about him taking him on. Interesting, mate. Go and have a listen. And all that is just a chunk of data. So Interledger protocol. It doesn't matter what it's just a chunk of, mate. It's a chosen protocol. It's like saying the W3C and all the Internet of Data protocols. It's like saying, oh, they're just a chunk of JavaScript, mate. So they're still governing body and regulations for the current Internet of data and information, aren't there? An Interledger protocol is going to become the regulation and protocol for the Internet of Value through Hyperledger. It's a no-brainer, mate. No-brainer. Cars, all the kids today won't own cars. They will block them as taxes, part of his experience. Yeah, downstairs, they'll just walk out onto the road, ping the phone, and a self-driving pod will just pull up. Well, where do you want to go, sir? Where would you like to go today, Scott? Back to town? Hell yeah. I just sat in the back, get you chauffeured about. Which day will XRP get a boost or push upwards? As I said, mate, when they let it go, only saw like 26 XRP left in his wallet. Can you send me a link? Screw that, I want to drive. I enjoy driving. Always think about automatics. I mean, like, would I like an I'm stick, mate. Most people in Britain are stick. Let's have it right. The automatics recent in Britain. None of this lever at the side of your flaming steering wheel. Forgot what a steering wheel was there. None of these levers there, boys. Like we had the. If you had a dump valve. Oh, he was on it, mate. Them were the days. But yeah, I used to love driving, mate. Still do. I enjoy it. Not that I'm not going to enjoy sat in the back one that's driving itself. Tesla, mate. Let's all just get a Tesla so we can drive, or it can drive itself. You should get bored on the motorway. Just like, oh, fuck it. Tesla, drive. Future's here, boys. Future's here. I'm going to go and get a little something to eat. I'm getting peckish because I've had breakfast like a muppet. Should intermittent fast. Once you have breakfast, you're hungry sooner. You got a little bit of fat on your belly you want to get rid of. Don't eat in the morning. Subconsciously tell your body to eat your fat. It's aerobic energy after all. What's a good odds for XRP and how many? Over 1,000. But you may be older than 5 years to be rich if you've only got 1,000. Over 10k, you might be rich in a year. Over 30k, you're probably rich in a year. It's different, mate, innit? You can't like how long you will it hold. So what's a good odds for XRP? How many? How long, mate? 10 years, just over 1,000. My question from March 27 and Jan, XRP did 663 times. We were all waiting for institutional money to come in. You see XRP doing those types of gains within 9 months. That would take it to 192. I do. Perfection in heaven. I do see them gains again, but like I say, they got the thumb on it, mate. They're not going to let it go. No institution would have wanted to buy it 380 in January, and Ripple knew that. Everyone involved with it knew that. The whole consortium knew that. And even people who are already in it who didn't quite have enough. Jeez. I've not looked at the escrow much. Is the escrow being emptied yet? Because in my opinion, until that whole escrow is being emptied and none of it's going back, it's all going into liquidity pools. And then we see the volume switch flipped. It's anyone's guess, man. It's anyone's guess. Like I say, just expect two bumps. Whether it's this year, next year, 2 years. Expect an institutional volume bump when they finally turn, and I mean worldwide, turn it on to start emptying them Nostro accounts. I'm still seeing 3-day pending payments, so I know Amazon and that ain't doing it yet. Once that pending payment disappears and we don't see it anymore, them Nostro accounts are being emptied. The volume then is going to scream up, mate. And then on top of that, as the Internet of Things grow, volume screams up again. If there's a financial crisis towards the end of next year, towards the end of this year, next year, which a lot are expecting, myself included, expect it to bloom. Then there's a lot of factors contributing to not it just staying down, but the potential for it to go up. So it's interesting. We've just got to be patient. This is why we try to concentrate on the technology. We just try to look at Interledger protocol, look at Hyperledger, just try and understand it before it moons. You know what I mean? No point in it mooning tomorrow, and we're all still like, all right then. Well, what the fuck's sawtooth? Do you know what I mean? What's Hyperledger sawtooth, mate? So we'll all learn about the tech as we're waiting. We might as well. I work in the fintech, and myself and my friends have all been involved, investing since mid last year, investing in the blockchain tech and the channels that we'll need to realise in the near future. Exactly. The channels that need to be reliable in the future, or reliable data in the near future. Reliable data, medical, voting, identities, criminal records, has to be 100% reliable, that data. That is no-brainer, that once that's all on it. But no moaning in America about voting once it's on blockchain. If Hillary loses on a blockchain, she's fucking lost. Sorry for the swearing again a little bit. I need to stop that. It's live, you know. I've realised it just couldn't. When you're live, it's harder to not swear. It's easy to be a little bit more professional when I'm pre-recording, if that makes any sense, because I'm trying to just be myself now. I'm speaking to the camera as if I'm just speaking to everyone in the chat, and just trying to just be as genuine as I can, which pops out a few naughty words now and then, so I do apologise for that. Stray away from the C word, no one needs to be hearing that, and we should be okay. Good eye from Australia, Mod. Thank you for the value you bring. No probs, right? Super kicks, Mod. Super kicks. Good eye. Super kicks, Mod. Struggle with Aussie sometimes. I have to always say, mate. I have to go back. You're right, Mod. Fucking hell, Mod. You're right, Mod. Come on, Mod. So I'm gonna go and get a buddy. What are your plans for the future with that money? What are your plans for the future with that money? Pancard Singh, you need business tips, mate. You need business tips. Don't save money, as in fiat. Invest, like you have in a digital asset like XRP. Wait for that investment to be as mature that it gives you a big raging emotional stiffer, like you never dreamed you'd ever have. And then take a little bit out, maybe 10 to 30%, to start a business. Buy a property and rent it out. Buy a shop, get someone to run it. Open your own YouTube channel and try and build a media company like we are. I've got some plans to branch into different content. You might have noticed we did a conspiracy video about Göbekli Tepe late last year. I am still open and planning to do more videos on that YouTube. We've actually thought of maybe just changing the name of the current YouTube to like Love for Limited, which is what like the media company to be called. Woo, Greg Williams, yes, blood. Love y'all's content. Thanks, I love y'all for paying that, man. Man, I gotta love y'all for paying me the $10, bro. Love y'all. Never really took off in the UK saying y'all. I forgot where I was then. But yeah. 200 XRP makes a market cap of 8.8 trillion. Impossible, dude. Why is that impossible? 8.2 trillion. Why was 8.2 trillion impossible? If it's going to free up 27 trillion, I was 8 trillion impossible. And crap me up, mate. Can you do a South African accent? Shit. South African. See, I need the key words. I'm going down to South Africa, you know. Because you know, if you come to South Africa, you're going to probably talk like this. I'd imagine you expecting me to talk a little bit like this, mate. But I've got to try and be careful that I don't really go to either Asian or Australian, because like I'm trying to stick to South African, mate, and I'm thinking of movies like District 9, how they speak in the District 9, and how they speak in other things like that, mate. So I don't really know about South African, mate. It's a bit hard, that one. I could do a Scouse accent a little better than a South African, mate. Could talk Scouse well better than that. But yeah, we'll maybe do some Love for Comedy one day. I don't know. People seem to have had a little bit of a buzz. Ooh, the market cap really, really big number. Argument is social media myth. People shouldn't get financial education on social media. Yeah, not financial advice. Buy some XRP though. But yeah, don't like. I ain't no financial advisor. Kurt's not. Love for Crypto's not. We are simply pointing out technology that can change the world. Technology that massive institutions are clearly becoming a part of. Clearly become fucking excellent South African accent. Well done. Cheers, Danny. Thank you, man. You know. I need to say you know. Or I can't carry it on if I don't say you know. I keep saying South African, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna knock it on the head. thank you very much for the donations. One last little thing I just want to show people. The shop, I mean, we've got a little shop. Don't know if many people know. We need to start sharing it more, making a few little journals in it and that, but the Love for Crypto shop, we've put some globalization, excuse me, we put some globalization designs on it, got a few other designs, XRP designs, there's RippleNet as in Skynet systems, Born to Hodl, Stellar, if you want a bit of Stellar, I'm a hodler baby. I Love for Crypto with the banners. There's a lot of variety. Be sure to not just think that's all that's there. Click on the departments. For instance, if you click on men's only, you will then be left with a load of men's tops. The zip hoodies are cack because we've had to put it in the middle. When we put it in the middle on a t-shirt, it goes in the middle on the zipped hoodie. To get a pullover hoodie, don't spend 30 quid on that zipped hoodie, man. Just don't. Like, buy the £11 t-shirts and that, more than worth it. Nice fitted ones, loose fitted, multicolours. XRP's in me blood. XRP, I took the red pill somewhere as well. There you go. I took the red pill. XRP, Bitcoin, it's in me blood. Yeah. Get yourselves over there and have a little look at it, guys, because there's some decent little designs in there. I'm gonna buy myself some soon, so hopefully you'll see me wearing a few of them very, very soon. Ripple is penetrating sectors that do trillions and quadrillions of dollars a year. Well said, digital nomad investor. Like, people are missing it. It's like some boom right over their head. It's like, what the hell? How long till regulation is clear? Will the token taxonomy do this? More than likely, it depends how deep you actually want to go there with regulation. Clearly, there's quite a lot of regulations being ironed out behind the scenes already. Ripple's been conversing with the top dog since 2013, 2014, maybe even earlier, if you can find some of the documents from earlier. But yeah, make no mistake, the regulations all been ironed out there, so maybe with your taxonomy for it and the more tax implications and rules and regulations will come out in that regard, it's only going to boost it, innit? It's going to boost custodial services, it's going to boost the amount of trust that the average Tom, Dick and Harry has in it. So yeah, how long till the sun burns out? It's about 5 billion years, innit? Give or take 20 billion, give or take 20 million. Do you know what I mean? It's just, why don't everyone expose them? That coin market cap of big holders of Bitcoin. They want to suppress the price of XRP so it doesn't become number one. It's not really coin market cap about they want to suppress the price of XRP. It's about them currently not really being able to express the true value rather than suppress the actual value. Make no mistake, the escrow going out OTC, yeah, and Bitfinex and all these other exchanges giving it out OTC, that's keeping it down. They was coming in buying billions, it'd be all over the gaff, wouldn't it? You think it's volatile now? Like, mate, if they was letting all them billions get moved about and it wasn't OTC, they need a way of a bot to kind of read the circulating supply and say, look, you've got so many millions that haven't moved for 3 weeks. You've got so many millions that are on ledgers locked away, cold storage, and not even in hot wallets. And you've got this amount on exchanges. That's the circulating supply. What's on the exchanges? Nothing else. What's in my ledger should not be considered a circulating supply. Only the XRP that we hold on platforms like WireX, LBX, to combat Binance, Bitfinex, where it's there, ready to be sold. And then you could argue that if it's not in an open order, is it really available? Do you know what I mean? If you haven't put an open order in of your Binance funds, your Binance funds ain't really available to anyone, are they? The circulating supply is the myth. Until they can get a bot to somehow read that properly and say, look, that's what's actually available on the exchanges. That's what's in the liquidity pools, and that's what the Ripple Ledger and RippleNet are going to be tapping. XRapid and all the rest of it is going to be tapping into. They ain't taking my ledger XRP, are they? Yeah, that's added in it at the moment, which is wrong. It's interesting. Time will tell. We've got to just stay concentrated on the tech, haven't we? We'll come visit you up north sometime and I'll do a bit of South African exit, man. I'll see you went Aussie then, you know. Yeah, man, come and visit, man. East Manchester, man, just off the M60, so we'll go and have a beer or something, man. And you can teach me to do a better one, because, this is just from District 9. If I hadn't seen District 9, I wouldn't be able to do this, man. That was bad. That's our piece of super national. You bet that right, Bullwinkle. Hoorah! Globalization sucks. Use it and abuse it. YouTube. Globalization sucks. Do you think it sucks for some African who's not even got an house? He's got to walk 10 miles for some clean water, but he can draw. In a year's time, he's on Instagram drawing, getting upvoted, getting micropayments sent to him, and he buys an house, a 3D printed concrete house that's only cost $4,000 now, with solar panel roof, ceiling tiles off Elon Musk, who only lives 600 miles south of him. Do you know what I mean? He's then got enough money for a well outside the house, doesn't have to walk 10 miles for clean water anymore. Do you think they're scared of globalisation? Do you think unbanked people are scared of globalisation? No. People who are scared and don't believe in themselves are scared of globalisation. Like Gary Vee says, get online. Get online. It's not 1995 anymore where you needed BBC to make a show. People need to get online and do it for themselves. It's happening, man. Wake up. Globalization is needed. What do we see as the main price catalyst? Backed regulations, fidelity. I think it's just filling the liquidity pools at the lowest price they possibly can make, but the fact that some of it's actually gone live now and it's being used for some remittance, it's at a floor on it. There's a certain point it can't go lower. So it doesn't matter if you've got an institution that comes in and they're like, bruh, can I get some of that for 20 cents, bruh? Get some of that XRP for 20 cents, bruh. You know what I mean? And they're just like, nah, it can't go below 27 now, mate, sorry. We might be able to, like, let's just have a look at the order book. So to put it down to 27, well, to 28, we need to bish bash bosh. We need to throw 36 million through 7 exchanges or 10 exchanges, so 360 million. Throw it in, drop it down a few cents for him. But yeah, mate, sorry, it can't go below 27 because we've got utility now. We're managing remittance from America to Mexico and from this to that. It's getting massive, man. Getting massive. There'll be no stopping it soon, though. Once the volume reaches a tipping point, SBI going live, other people going live, showing order books, no more OTC. So all the OTC ends, the liquidity pools full, the exchange pools full that they can sell to other people. Oh, mate, that is when, boom, the switch is flipped. If they walk 10 miles for a bucket of water, a moron should move. I always say that. I say that myself. If you're walking that far for water, just go and build your house near the water, man. Just go and build a hut near the water, mate. Yeah, I've always thought that myself, but let's not get into that. We know, like, we know they've got dirty water. We know they need to be banked. Globalization, a level playing field, will bank them. Will give them financial services they couldn't have dreamed of a couple of years ago. Will enable them to then start earning money. On top of that, then the Interledger protocol and the fact that they're going to be able to grow value, gain value, take micro transactions, be upvoted on platforms like Steam and Facebook when they added it. I don't know if any of you have noticed it yet, but Facebook has added upvoting to big pages. Only be a matter of time before people start actually getting paid microtransactions for what they get upvoted. I promise you that it's gonna happen. Liquidity building. I wonder if Swift will use it to settle through R3 or will they use a different settlement? R3 Corda, mate. R3 Corda on Interledger. It's done. It's done and dusted, mate. R3 Corda there, lad. Trade finance, pushing digitisation to trade for reduce risk and fraud. So you've got Chain, Hyperledger, Fabric, R3 Corda, and Digital Asset. Yeah? But then you've got, so Hyperledger with R3 Corda. We know Swift partnered with R3 Corda, but we also, Swift's a member of the Hyperledger Consortium. Swift. Swift there. So yeah, Swift. It's all ready, man. It's ready to go. Hyperledger, Interledger Protocol, R3, Swift, Intel, Swift, Red Hat. You've got JP Morgan, American Express, BBVA, Wells Fargo, and more at the bottom. The Japanese bank there. I mean, Jesus wept. It's there, isn't it? That's all I need to see. When you think these pools are dried up and they must go to exchanges or not, again, I don't know. We're gonna have a deep dive into some things over the next week or two. We're gonna have a couple of videos planned and coming out, I think. So just gonna have to stay tuned and try and find some documents yourselves, guys. I mean, like, look at this. I'll just show you this now quickly because I am legitimately going in a minute. But just search Interledger PDF. But bear in mind, a lot of them are the same. But look at the screen, man. Look at the screen. The protocol for Interledger payments. Interledger, April 2018. Interledger w3.org. Interledger overview. Interledger Chicago Payment Symposium. Interledger presentation to PowerPoint, the Everest Interledger one we've just been on. Interledger creating a standard for payments. Interledger creating a standard for payments. Overview of the Interledger plugin. The Gate Hub. Just search Interledger PDF. You got a day and a half of reading about Interledger. And do the same with Hyperledger and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is legitimately all we've been doing. It's not hard. It's just extremely time consuming. An introduction to Hyperledger, blockchain for business, Hyperledger Fabric, developing a blockchain business network, blockchain applications, a case study, why business needs blockchain technologies, stories from the Hyperledger battlefield. Do you know what I mean? Like, some of these documents are must read. They just seem a little bit boring at first, but just give yourself a little search of what you're interested in, and if it's in the document, your PDF reader's going to tell you it's there. Once a kid in Africa, 50 cents a day, he's only a white kid there. Sometimes I regret sending him. I love it. I love that. That's a good in that. How much can it go? How much can it go lower? I don't know. There is a bottom now though, because it's being used for utility and remittance. So whatever them remittance are costing, that's as low as it can go. Them remittance will need it as a certain value to maintain the remittance payments daily. Could not pick enough a settlement method. I know currently it's only XRP, or does it mean 11,000 banks are on the way? What it basically means is you can swap Bitcoin for gold, you can swap fiat for gold, for oil, for cotton, for fish, for tomatoes, for absolutely anything you want. You can exchange value in the future inside an exchange, inside a bank's exchange, peer-to-peer across the world through a smart contract. It doesn't matter. The only thing that does matter is how fast you want it done and how cheap you want it to be. If you want the fastest, cheapest option, you need to choose XRP. If you want the fastest, cheapest option that's got over 5 years, no problem settlement, absolutely no settlement didn't go through, every transaction completed like that in seconds, you have to choose XRP because no other one offers it. If you as a business, a bank as a business, get told, look, that 3 to 5 day payment you're doing there, mate, I can get it to 4 seconds and save you up to 80% on your costs. What business doesn't snap that arm off? Seriously. If you can answer that question, you can say why XRP won't be used. Could potentially fall lower than 20-25 cents, but although it could fall, we don't know what the floor, we don't know what it needs to be for the utility, for them remittance payments that it's doing currently and that. It's not, I don't think it's doing much yet. But the more thing that comes live, And the more order books we get out, hey, wait for the SBI, man. That's all I'm really waiting for. I want to see if there's movement at SBI going live. When we see them order books, we get shit. Because that's then instantly added to the circulating, innit? It's got to be, surely. Unless it's already in it, even though it's, say. So it's circulating, needs a bot to actually tell us what's circulating and what isn't. I don't seem to understand that. So if we run an Interledger protocol that uses XRP for settlement, what it is, the more it is Interledger protocol does not have to use XRP. It doesn't have to. But what business is going to use an asset that takes longer to bridge between two other assets? So some guy's selling a bit of gold and he's getting platinum for it. You can't just digitally sell gold for platinum, can you? Need to bridge a value, and then the institution that holds the gold bullion. Like, it's quite interesting that Canada's just made it illegal for people to hold bullion on it. Hold bullion. I bet you can still own it through smart contract, but that institution is going to hold it for you, and they'll distribute the smart contract for you, which you can then redistribute the value of that gold anywhere you want. You could split that smart contract up into percentages. But at the end of the day, you want to spread that value and change it into other assets. The fastest way to do it and the cheapest way to do it is through XRP. As a business and someone who's trying to create profit or value, it's a no-brainer. We're not saying in 10 years someone's not going to come up with one that does 1 million transactions per second every second, and it's cheaper and faster than XRP. Might well happen, and keep your eye out for it. Do you know what I mean? Let us know if you find it, mate. But until then, it's XRP. It's got to be. It's a no-brainer. Will BAB be the UK XRP? See, the Traveller, the way I see it, right, is you picture the banks at the top who control the banked population. They distribute the financial services. They regulate what financial institutions and payment providers are allowed to do, right? They're at the top of a pyramid. Now are using XRP because it's the cheapest, fastest asset. But at the bottom of the pyramid, at the grassroots level, on the ground, you've got unbanked Africans and Asians and homeless in Manchester and homeless in New York and millions of people across the world who are cut out of financial services, financially excluded people. When they talk about financial inclusion, that's what they mean. They're talking about bringing people financial services that they've otherwise not had access to. So I see BAB and their currency BACS being the ground floor level of that. That will be the one that the app will give the Africans and the homeless an account. They'll get some backs on it. They can instantly start earning and trading. Do you know what I mean? If they hold the backs and it gains value, God knows where they could end up. They could go from homeless to their own channel on YouTube in 2 years. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, and I think BAB, it worried a few people the other week with BAB's transaction, the fact that it didn't burn anything. Did it? Didn't burn the fee. And the whole point of BACS is supposed to be paying fees and gas. Yeah, while XRP acts as the bridge. So they needed to fix that, but we highlighted last year that people was burning 50,000 XRP in one transaction at one point, and the community didn't really weren't really bothered. BAB, one transaction where it didn't burn, and BAB are like, oh, sorry, we'll fix that. Thanks for showing it. Exactly how Ripple did. Davey Schwartz come out saying, oh, that'll be sorted. Bish, bash, bosh, we're going to do it. We're going to fix it. And boom, it's done. BAB did exactly the same thing, and yet it lost half its value, didn't it? Well, maybe not half, but 20-odd percent, 25%. And it's because it's not got the 5 years of transaction XRP had. It's got trust. XRP has already built trust within the establishment, within the financial sector. BAB's still got to do that. When they get the banking license and when they've shown to have fixed the transaction problem before they release the app, BAB's a game changer, mate. For unbanked people, BAB is a game changer. When will SBI go live? Kurt said this last night. Oh, fucking. I forgot, mate. It's next month, I think. March. I don't know. SBI go live in March. Joy right below it. Open your eyes, Scott. George on the website, SBI next month. But yeah, that's me. I'm gonna go and get some food. This stream ended up well longer than expected. It's a fucking 2-hour stream, man. But yeah, I've enjoyed it, guys, and gonna look into Hyperledger more. Gonna look into Interledger protocol a lot more, and yeah, pretty crazy. But I'm looking like I need makeup with these lights on. It's not usually that bad. Let me turn the lights off just to see what it's like. Yeah, the green's come back on it. See, I'm more, that's more my colour. But the green's come back a bit. Because the sun's shining through behind the green now. It's making it stronger. So all in front of that, it's kind of glaring green. Need some blackout blinds. There's no day. Katal said in go live next month. Value in dollars does not matter when fiat goes. Guys, live long and odd. We love crypto and we love you. Peace out. Speak to you again very, very soon. Yeah, I enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.